What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lauren Rei, and my boy, Jada Gentleman. We are here coming to you from home yet again.
We're still in quarantine.
We are still in quarantine.
Don't get it twisted.
If you didn't forget that it was COVID.
I know.
This is
forget.
Yes.
It's like June 2nd, and a lot of riots going on, the protests. I mean, can I just say, like, the demonstration that was going on in Philly, like, the first couple hours was amazing. It was beautiful. Like, it looked dope. I saw it from, like, friends and people that were there, and they were texting me, and it was like, whatever. And then everything kind of switched over, and it's been kind of crazy in the city the last couple of days. How you feeling, Lauren?
I'm good. Yesterday was a little bit rough. Yesterday was a rough day because the orange dude came out and, tried to he did put down law and order, basically. They're showing military presence in a lot of major cities. There is military presence in Philadelphia. We also have been on a curfew for the last 2 days. Everyone has been supposed to be in the house at 6 o'clock. Won't dive too much into it, but the curfew doesn't apply to everyone, apparently.
Not everybody.
So it's been a rough 2 days. I mean, I think it's been a rough couple weeks for us just in general, because Black people just, in the last couple months, 2020, it's just been crazy. COVID hit us the hardest out of all the communities that has been affected. And then we're going to the George Floyd situation, where he was murdered by, it was 4 cops, correct?
It was 4, yeah.
4 cops. And now we're kind of in a full-fledged, it feels like a race war, from how I feel about it. So it's been crazy. My emotions have been like a roller coaster. A lot of comments and stuff on social media, and you're starting to see who people really are.
For sure. Yo, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did a op-ed for the LA Times, and he said it the best. It's like racism is like dust in the air. Like, it's invisible even when you're choking on it, but you put a light on it and you see it even when it's on the ground. So you got to keep putting that light on it so people can see it.
And don't be fooled. There are some people of color who think crazy too, as far as racism is concerned. Had to check a couple people on some stuff. But this person that we have on the show tonight, she knows how to read a rainbow at all costs on social media.
No pun intended, because she's a writer.
She is, right?
So shout out to LeVar Burton on that.
I check in daily to see who she read. I'm like, let's see what she did. Let's see who got read today.
But more importantly, she's also a returning guest, so she's family to the show.
Yes, she is. And she has a new book that has just come out. It's really great. So I do, actually, right here.
Yes, girl.
I came prepared.
She's ready.
I was ready. So everybody, and guess what? We're gonna say her name right this time. Do you remember the last time?
I'll wait.
Monique Elise.
All right, you got it.
There you go.
Hi.
So,
welcome back.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to come back and see you guys, and considering the circumstances and what's going on. It's good to see familiar faces and link up, because I've been cooped up in this house, child, and
Word.
all this stuff going on. My patient.
Can you turn your volume up a little bit first?
Yeah. Y'all know I'm soft-spoken.
Coming in here all dainty.
Got you. There you go.
You hear me now? Am I better?
Yeah.
Now.
Talk louder. Y'all
So,
know I'm soft-spoken. Sorry.
Fun story. The last time Monique was on the show, we did a whole hour-and-a-half show and literally butchered her name the whole entire time. And
you had me saying it messed up. I was like, it's contagious now. I was saying it right.
And literally, on the last break of the show, she was like, it's Elise, right? I'm like, why didn't you tell me before? So
that's funny.
I promised myself I was not going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
But no, we really do appreciate you coming back onto the show. How have you been since you've been in quarantine?
Busy, very busy. I still have a job that I have to work. Thank God. Even though it's been very, very like hectic, business as usual with that. And then, you know, the beginning of the quarantine, I was finishing my book, getting that ready. So I was working maybe 18-hour days for weeks and weeks at a time. And then I moved, and I have all these like exciting changes going on. So
That's fun.
yeah, it's fun. It's been interesting. I feel like I'm entering a new chapter in my life. So very happy.
So
I'm
this,
happy considering the circumstances.
I was gonna say, despite 2020 being a total shit show, halfway through, you've been able to thrive, which is great.
Yeah, and I just try to celebrate like the small wins and, um, you know, just practice gratitude daily and look at my loved ones and just be thankful for that. But you know, there are some days where it's just like, whoo, a lot is going on, and you just want to take a moment to like take a breath and process what's going on. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm maintaining. I'm maintaining.
Good.
So the last time you were on the show, you had Dilemmas of a Damsel, part 1, 2, and 3.
Correct.
All done. And we kind of asked you what was next for you for your next book. And you talked about doing a thriller, a romantic thriller, right? Because I'm not mistaken, you said that like romantic mystery thrillers are like your favorite genre of books, correct?
Yes.
So how did you come up with the concept of Red Echo?
Oh my
Put it
God.
back up here again.
Yes, let me tell y'all, this book took me there and then some. I thought that the thing about creating is like I'm a control freak. I'm a type A personality. So I'm all about schedules and lists and doing things in a certain amount of time. I just knew I was going to write this book and have it published in 6 months. It did not work that way. I wrote a whole novel, hated it, and started all over. So
Wow.
I really tried to force the story. I had to really take a step back, and because, you know, again, I get consumed. Sometimes this is a flaw of mine. I get consumed with meeting deadlines because that's what works for me in my day job. But in my creative space, it doesn't really work. I can't put a deadline on my creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So when I took that pressure off myself and I just let the story speak to me, you know, I was able to connect with my characters in a way and really like, because I feel like my characters live in my head. I know I sound crazy. Did I say this last time?
You did.
Characters live in my head, like, and I hear them, and I just like it irks me until I can get their story out on paper. So
you just said two of the most artsy things ever.
really,
one was the characters live in my head, and the other one was I can't put a time restraint on my art.
I got it from my boyfriend. He tells me that all the time. He's like, nobody gives a damn about your deadlines, Monique. Stop stressing yourself. I'm like, but I want to publish my book. He's like, nobody knows it but you. Like,
right.
It'll be fine. And it's the truth. Like, I'd rather take my time and publish something that I'm proud of versus killing myself trying to meet a deadline and put something out that's not good.
Right.
So that's something that I'm learning with myself. But this book definitely took me there. It was a humbling experience, to say the least.
When you say your characters live in your head, once you're done writing the book, how do you separate from them? If you can.
I don't think I ever separate from them. And one thing that I like to do, you'll notice in my books, just because the book ended doesn't mean that the character's story ended, because I'll always, like, my books will always be in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you think about Philadelphia, it's a city, but it's not that big. People are bound to cross paths some type of way. So, you know, I always am going to leave that door open because, you know, I finished Dilemmas of a Damsel. That series is done, but that doesn't mean that Jade might not pop up in one of my new books or Blair might not pop up. So, you know, if I feel like I want to tell their story or pick up their story, then I definitely will.
That's a good point. I like that you keep it kind of open-ended in a sense that, because Philadelphia, everybody knows everybody. That's a good way of putting it.
Some type of way.
So one of the things I remember commenting when you first put out the book on social media when you're promoting it was the cover art. I like loved it. Who did it and where did that come from?
I did it.
Did you?
Wait, did you see the old one or the new one?
Well, I saw the
You're talking
one.
about this one, right?
That
I
one?
think it was that one. Or
Red
the one with the one there
Oh,
was
the
like
one with the faces?
yeah.
That's all my book covers.
I'm sorry, you did all yours?
Yeah.
Wow, I like that. That was dope.
Thank you. Yeah, I being that I'm self-published author, I do a lot of stuff myself. And this is advice for anyone that wants to self-publish. There's a lot of things that you can do.
Lauren, are you listening, Lauren?
I knew you were gonna do that. You can't put a time limit on my art.
I'm like, tick. I'm trying to ride your coattails, man. Let's go.
She just gave me a tip. You can't put a time limit on my art.
I'm hint at this later, but I'll have some resources available for you. I'm working on that for this year.
Nice.
But one thing I don't skimp on is an editor. That's one thing, and the legal situation, I make sure to have money set aside for that, editing and ads. Everything else, if I can do it, I'll do it, because I just feel like people are not going to understand the vision. Like most of the time, like I have a clear vision in my head of what I want my book cover and everything to look like. So I'll just do the work to like figure it out. But if it gets too hard, like if I'm just struggling, then I will hire someone to do my cover art. But luckily lately I haven't had to do that. So thank you for your compliment, that because I literally just play with images and figure out until I
It was just, I just noticed it in my timeline. It was striking, so that it worked.
Thank you.
So let's take a step back. Let's talk about the book.
Right.
Give us a little synopsis of what the book is about.
Ooh, well, the book, I like to say that it's a little mixture of Addicted and Gone Girl.
I was just gonna ask if it was like Gone Girl. I swear to God.
It's a little bit like that.
Okay.
I've had somebody mention that it gives them like Sister Soldier, Coldest Winter Ever vibes a little bit. The story is essentially about two sisters. They're twins. And a lot of people don't know Echo. It's also another word for twin.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I named the book Red Echo is because they're two twin sisters, and red was chosen because the color red is prevalent throughout the book, because obviously there's a lot of bloodshed.
Maybe some romance.
There's romance, there's seduction. Like I feel like red is such a sexy color, and it can mean so many different things. It's fiery, it's seductive. So the story, two sisters, London and Olivia, and they love each other. They're very close. They're obviously twins, so that bond is like tight. But they both have secrets. They both are living like double lives. So I don't want to give away too much, but London sleeps with rich men in Philadelphia. She's, I want to say, an escort by night, and she goes to college. She's trying to better herself, but she wants to live a better life. And her sister, on the other hand, she's a little bit more timid. She's with someone, she claims she's in love, but really she's in an abusive relationship, and her boyfriend is a psycho, and he has issues with keeping his hands to himself. And, you know, the story explores their relationship and the secrets that are in between them, because, you know, as close as they are, they do have secrets amongst them, and
sure,
the secrets are trying to draw them apart. So it just navigates the story. It explores, you know, London's life as an escort, and you know, what she goes through, like balancing that life, and then just trying to be a good sister and student, and then what it's like for Olivia to be present in her family's life, but to also be a woman that's ashamed to admit that she's a victim of domestic violence. And yeah, it's a roller coaster.
It starts off
like, listen.
It starts off crazy. I'm just gonna tell everybody that right now. Literally,
it's right in the face.
The first page, you're like, oh, okay, that's how we're gonna start this off. Got you. So it's definitely one that you don't want to put down, because it's like after every page, every chapter, you're like, okay, what's going to come next?
Mm-hmm.
So when you were kind of coming up with the concept and the idea of the suspense part and the thriller part, did you know exactly who you wanted your characters to be? Did you know you wanted them to be sisters, but them to live this two separate lifestyle?
Actually, what's interesting about this book, it was born out of, did you read the whole book?
I'm halfway through.
Okay.
I can't tell you the part that I'm at because then I will give it away for people, but it's fucking crazy.
Okay. So what I'll tell you is that this book, like I said, I wrote the first draft and it just wasn't it, so I started over. This book was born out of, at the end of Red Echo, there's a sneak peek to my next book coming out. Red Echo was born out of that.
Oh, okay.
So I finished Red Echo and I'm like, oh my gosh, I still want to tell this story and I'm not done with this yet, so I'm just going to make this my next book. But I knew like some of the characters that I had in mind, but no, like I said, I had to let the story come to me and let it just like bleed out onto the screen or like when I wrote it out, until it felt right.
With these characters, I think I might have asked this last time you were here, but just kind of refresh. Is this something that you take from real life experiences, your own personal life, other people's lives, and kind of craft it into something a little bit more organic in the book?
Sometimes it could be anything. It might be a song that I hear, a movie I watch, a conversation I have, something I see on Facebook, like anything. Like some stories, were inspired by events that have taken place in my life, friends I've known. But I just open myself up to anything. And, if an idea just pops in my mind, and I think I said this before, I'll have ideas pop in my mind at the most random times. And I just have to go and like write it down. And like, I have a running list of like book ideas or things that I want to happen in a book that I just, either it just interests me or I think it's like really cool. So.
Do you think you would want any of your books to turn into like maybe a TV series or a movie?
That was gonna be my question for later, but
never. I never say never. Yeah, I would. I think I would be open to it.
Okay.
I'm like so protective of it, but I mean, if the right opportunity presented itself,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like if Netflix comes and Issa Rae's attached to it, and it's like 10 million.
Yeah, she can have it. But I would. I'm not going to say no. I just would. I think I would want to. I don't know. I would hope that situation comes up, and I'm not going to. I'm certain I'll say yes if the details.
If it makes sense.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, it would definitely make sense.
Nah, because a lot of people like the vision of a book. Books will always exceed movies and stuff.
Okay.
Because, like I grew up reading Harry Potter and those types of series, and to see them converted to movies, it's like no.
So
they don't do the books justice at all.
So that's why. Oh, go ahead. You about to probably say.
No, I was just saying. No, I'm glad you brought that conversation up because you do hear a lot of people that say, "Oh, the books are way better," and it's like, all right, I get it. Yeah. I get it because books you could get away with a lot more because I think technology just hasn't really.
That and your imagination is limitless. So
right.
Somebody can imagine like when you.
But for me, I'm like, I mean, it's still kind of cool that you can see
You're
it.
visual. Yeah.
I'm a visual dude, so I'm like, all right.
I would do it. It's just like there's a lot of people. There's a lot of movies that get made that aren't great. I would just want to make sure that if it's done, it got to be done right.
Right.
That's all I want.
So then to counter that, I'm like, all right, so for instance, the 50 Shades franchise.
Oh,
trash.
No, I get it. I get it totally. but that author made a lot of money off of it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like they still went out to go watch it.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
And don't think that if she writes another book that people aren't gonna buy her book again. And you know what I mean?
Oh no, she's still charting. she's still charging on Amazon with those books. Like she's still
That's
like
all
a
I'm saying.
bestseller. So it's just absolutely. Even Zane's Addicted is still charted like top 10. I was so hyped when I passed that because that book's been out for decades.
I'm about to say, people are still buying that book?
Yes, that book has been out for decades and it's still like a top 10 bestseller on Amazon.
Wasn't Zane like on Cinemax? It was part of like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I remember that shit. That's wild. That was so long ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. That was like, people are still buying that book. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
That's dope.
Damn.
That's gold.
That's dope.
That's goals for me. Like,
it really is.
You get that residual check from something you made like 20 years ago. Like, oh shit. All right.
Yep. I'm with it.
What number are you at right now on Amazon?
I checked today. I dropped a little bit. I think I was like top 20. I peaked. I was the number one the number one new release on Amazon.
That's so dope.
Thank you. And I peaked at number 3 for erotica, African.
Nice.
So yeah, like I'm hyped. Like I wanted that number 1 spot, and it can still happen. But like I said, I'm a new author. Not new, but I'm not a Zane, so I have to.
You're like up and coming still.
Up and coming, so I have to really like work to promote and keep it. It doesn't stop. Like I don't have the luxury of releasing something and letting it sell itself. Like I have to like work to push it. So just considering the circumstances of this weekend and everything, one, I just didn't feel comfortable to keep promoting something with what's going on. I just felt like it was insensitive and. I'm just mentally I don't want to do it right now. So that's me.
It's not funny, but literally like the other day I was mad because I saw someone posting bundles of hair. I was like, bitch, I don't want your hair.
Yeah, like it's bad business actually.
It's like read the room. Yeah, like I sent Lauren a couple people post what they did, like what they post on. I'm like, read the room. Like, you see what's going on out here? Like a revolution. And you want to be out? Yeah, this is like,
someone posted their new video for their trash ass song, and I'm like, this isn't even good.
Right.
Because everything's irritating.
Everything is irritating, for sure. What's going on with the blog?
The blog is still going. I've kind of taken a little bit of a different. I haven't talked about dating as much on the blog. I just been, just listening to my followers and like a lot of my readers come to me and just ask for certain advice about, I guess how to just be their best selves and like how do you do this. So I really wanted to just give answers to those questions that I was getting. So I really just like my readers to come away with, new tips on how to be more financially responsible or make, better decisions when it comes to, interacting with others, practicing mindfulness, just being more well-rounded women. So that's going to encompass like more than just dating. Yeah, I still talk about dating, but just not as much. I still talk about financial tips, but now I've been definitely giving more tips about career advice and personal development and personal growth. So I try to keep a balance with that. And
I feel like you don't talk about anything that you haven't experienced. So
I'll do that.
Yeah. So I always kind of feel like when I see your blog come up, the newsletter, I know it's going to be something that you're kind of already doing. Like you just had one about dieting, right? So you're actually doing a diet. So your readers are like, huh?
I told myself, y'all just saw me cheat on my diet.
But we didn't. That wasn't recorded. You just told on yourself.
You just did.
You did that.
We all have days.
We're right along with you with what you're doing at the same time. So how do you try to kind of like, I don't want to say stay relevant, but how much do you let your audience come into your life, and what do you kind of like put on pause?
Whew. As like an influencer, that's the balance that's tough because you want to be transparent, but I do like a certain level of privacy. So, I don't hide the fact that I'm in a relationship or anything like that, but I also don't post my boyfriend. You'll see hints of him, but you won't see him. Like, I'm not one of those, haha, this is my boyfriend. That's just not me.
Mm-hmm.
No, what's the picture where it's just like you're looking back with the hand and it's like it's just his hand, like.
Wait, what was that?
No, I'm just saying, like, when people do that, like, it'd be like the girl walking in the ocean and she's like reaching back and it's like the guy's hand, like, all right.
I think I would do one of those.
on vacation or something.
Those. I like
go
those.
Yeah, all right.
But I do try to. One thing that I pride myself on is being authentic. So anything that I'm like communicating or sharing with my followers, like, I'm not going to sit here and write about something that I don't know anything about. And I'm not going to lie. It just doesn't sit right with my spirit. At the end of the day, anything that I do, anything that I share or put out into this world has to sit right with my spirit. And if it does not, I'm not doing it. So, that means for me being honest about, what's going on in my life. I might not share all the details or, I'm not really one to share like when I'm having a bad day or anything like that all the time. But, I'm not ashamed to share, like, I go to therapy. I work on things in my relationship. I experience stress. I suffer from writer's block. There are times where I just don't feel like doing anything. The people I work with sometimes get on my damn nerves. Like, I'm okay with sharing stuff like that. Will I share what's something that I feel people overshare? Like, you ain't gonna see me like posting I'm in the shower or like I'm not one of those. You won't see that. You probably won't see me like posting like when I'm just waking up or anything, because I'm just waking up. I don't want a body up in my face. I'm not that transparent. Like, I definitely have boundaries, but I like to share enough to, because people connect to like someone being, just a human being. They want to know that you're just
authentic.
Like, yeah. So I definitely try to do that, and it makes people comfortable enough to, come to me and ask me questions and, recommend like, oh, I have a question about this. Can you write about this? Or,
Well, has Calvin Klein called yet? Just curious, because you tried to break the internet.
You want to know what's funny? Well, I was gonna mention that, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And then Lauren does.
Because when I see one of my sisters out here, I was like, okay.
I was like, you know what?
I said, she better stop playing.
Why not? Listen. Because I had to give y'all a break from all the book stuff. I was like, let me break it up.
I'm just wondering if they called yet, because they need to be paid.
No, they owe me a check, and ASOS owes me a check too.
I'm just trying to say. I'm like, okay, we see you in the house working.
Y'all gonna see that mirror a lot. I love that mirror.
So you know what? Fuck it. You deserve that ice cream sandwich, okay?
Right.
You look good. Don't worry about it.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself, girl. Treat yourself. Now, you talked about the preview of the new book.
Right.
Is that going to be another thriller?
Ooh, I think so.
Okay.
I'll give you a little. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you. You want to be surprised?
It's cool. You can go ahead. It's for more. It's more for the viewers. It's not about me. Go ahead.
And we'll probably forget.
Well, one of the characters, she gets hired by a woman to sleep with her husband.
Oh God.
And yeah.
Like Indecent Proposal?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
She's going to find herself in a sticky ass situation, and the story is just going to follow like how she gets out of that. So I'll just leave it there.
Have you ever thought about writing like predominantly comedy?
No, I'm not a comedian at all.
You don't have to be. You're funny and you can write.
I am not funny, but thank you.
Me and Lauren think we get a kick out of you. I don't know.
What? Y'all, what do y'all laugh at? My social media?
No, we just think you're like a great energy.
On Facebook, I'll be like, yo, Monique will just put in on today. And it's so funny because I would think that you're the type of person that kind of like shields what you say online due to, you being this author and you also work,
right.
whatever.
My
Facebook, she'd be like, nah, fuck that, nigga.
My Facebook is that's me. That's raw. Well, not raw, but less of a filter, Monique.
Okay. That's funny.
I'm much more vocal on Facebook. So if you're
that shit is funny. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I do say a lot of stuff on there. It's just I just get random thoughts. I don't know.
I don't forget when we originally said, yo, we're gonna get Monique back on the show. We wanted to talk to her about a particular show. I forget which one it was, but are you up to date on Insecure?
Absolutely.
Okay. So this will probably come out after Sunday's episode, which is the last one, I believe. This Sunday.
No, there's two more. There's 2 more.
It's 2 more?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's 9 and 10.
If you're not up to date, it is what it is, right? So how have you been enjoying the season thus far?
Have you been enjoying the season this far?
Yes.
I have, but not as much as other seasons.
Okay.
And why?
First of all, I want to fight Molly. Like, when I see her, I want her to square up. Not a problem.
ASAP, without any hesitation.
I've been over Molly since season 2.
We talked about this.
I don't think, I don't know. I just don't like her. She irks me. So, yeah, I don't know. She's so, passive aggressive and, condescending. And I just feel like she put Issa in a box and she left her there. And, in her eyes, Issa's not allowed to grow or, do anything outside of what Molly thinks that she should be doing. I have an issue with that. I also have an issue with people that always have an opinion about stuff and pass judgment, but they're a hot mess themselves. And, Issa said it best, all the failed relationships that she had, you're the common denominator, boo. Look at yourself a little bit and, figure out what's going on there.
And it's funny because I see what they're trying to do. And it's funny because it does make you think about possibly some friendships that you've had, right? And I think sometimes you're friends with people with conditions. And I feel like that's Molly and Issa's relationship. Molly has conditions on the friendship that she has with Issa. We're good, Issa, as long as you're a hot ass mess, right? Then I can come save a hoe, basically, right? But as soon as she starts to be a better person, it's almost like I don't have any use for you. Yeah. And that shit is fucked up, right?
And the fact that she tried to pull that, the fact, of all things, I think what bothered me the most was, Issa needed her at that moment. That was a huge moment in her life. And of all the times that she stepped in to help her and assist her friends, that was the one time that she decided not to. And you know what? Issa said, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And she figured it out. But she took such offense to that, to confront her at her event. Oh, we would have been fighting. If any of my friends pull something like that at my event that I worked so hard to do something like that, we're fighting.
No, but not only that, but Molly would try to say, maybe it was your fault that this happened, right? But this was one of the few times where, everything was going, and that was out of her control.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think Molly would be like, oh, all right, I get it. Let me ask my man or whatever. Mm-hmm. But she was like, well, did you pay him on time? And did you do this? And it's like, this, yeah, I did all that. It's just he just pulled out. That's what artists do.
What about setting boundaries? What? What are you talking about? Set boundaries.
I was so
married men.
I was so mad about that comment. I was jumped off the couch. I was like, "Bitch, are you crazy?"
Oh, I was hot. Let me tell you, I was so hot watching that episode.
Yeah, but I'm have to be honest, y'all. After Sunday, I'm mad at Issa. I'm not
Drawing.
okay.
So happy.
I am not because I always feel like Issa always progresses in everything except for Lawrence. She always works backwards. And I'm gonna be completely transparent. I was that girl. Like I would take X's back and go backwards and all other shit like that. And it always just feels like it blows up in your face sometimes when you backpedal, right? So I had this question for you, but clearly it sounds like you're happy for her, right? I'm not happy for her.
I mean,
I'm not happy.
it was a mature date.
It was a very mature date, but not when he showed you twice that he was still talking to old girl. Like,
but he didn't lie about it. He was honest.
Doesn't matter.
He didn't lie about it. He was honest. But that second time when he went outside to answer the phone,
and she heard that.
And you gonna give up the draws at that point. At that point, I kind of felt like, well, I don't want him to go see her, so let me drop the box on him, kind of thing. And
that's what it was.
Like, Eve,
can you consider that she at that moment realized, like, oh shit, I want to be with him? Because when you know that someone is about to potentially swoop in and take somebody that you're in love with, I commend her for at least speaking up and voicing it. She took a chance. I feel like it was there. It was there all night, but Lawrence wasn't going to do it because he was hurt. He's scared. Like, that's how I took it. But I think it was romantic. I guess.
Lawrence is still a fuckboy to me. If she's just a grown
listen.
She's just a grown up one with a job now. That's all.
No, I think Issa, I think it was more of I invested so much time in this. Now that there's an opening, I feel like I could swoop in and get him back. That's what I feel like.
She wants him. Yeah, she wanted him the whole time.
But like now that he's like at a place in his business where he's thinking about going to San Francisco and he's like actually, figuring out himself. Now she's like, oh, okay, so I put in that work, years ago. Now that he has a little opening with homegirl, I might have to swoop in.
I think when she found out about that ring, she got a little sick. She was like,
yeah.
That too.
I really think that was like closure for them. I don't think I think their story is done. I would be surprised.
I was thinking that too. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, well, maybe they just needed to get that one last one.
They needed to get it out of their system and like leave with nothing, like no hard feelings, no what ifs or anything. Just like common understanding.
So me and Lauren had brought it up and I agreed. I think we both think that homegirl is gonna be pregnant.
Oh gosh.
What's her name? Condola?
Yeah.
The worst name of all time. I think Condola is pregnant because I just felt like she was too anxious to see him.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it had to be like, I have to tell you something on some shit like that. Because she called twice.
That's a good angle. So you know what? Maybe Issa and Lawrence aren't done because for drama, I'm a writer. This is a drama play.
Right. For the next season.
Dramatic to have Issa and Lawrence get back together
and how they work that, how they navigate that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let it be known, it's June 2nd. It's a Tuesday. Wow. We're saying that Condola's pregnant. So if we predict this right, we're the shit, and we're gonna write our own show.
But ultimately, though, since we're talking about it, we must still love the show. We still watch it, right?
Got to.
Gotta still watch it.
I walked away smiling so hard when I saw Sunday. That was a welcome distraction. Because I'm telling you, I've been watching TV and stuff at night because I just can't, like, being on social media with all this stuff going on is, like, crazy. So it's good to just, like, shut everything down and watch that. And I just walked away, and it just made me so happy. And I just hate that their episodes aren't longer. I think that's I wish the episodes were an hour.
Yeah, well, the reason why the 30-minute thing doesn't work is because 4 minutes of it is of y'all showing HBO
recap. Right.
Like, come on, like that's why it doesn't. That's not why it doesn't work. But I'm gonna respect them and stop asking them for our episodes because they're tired.
But honestly, the other thing too is the fact that they're only dropping it once a week, like old school. It's not binge watching. Because if it's binge watching, we wouldn't have this. We wouldn't care.
That's true. That is very
you guys
true.
need to watch that Issa then if you watched Lovebirds on Netflix.
I did watch that.
So I did watch. It's funny.
Like it? I love it.
But I did not like the photograph.
I didn't see that one.
I liked it.
It almost felt undone to me.
It did feel a little undone. It did.
And I was just like, oh, like, I know this couldn't have been a budget situation. Like, what happened? Like,
we got another 45 minutes of that movie.
Absolutely.
Dang.
It was beautiful though. It was
done beautifully.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I left wanting more. Like, or it almost felt like, you know how sometimes you fall asleep in the movie and you like, cause you're just real tired and you wake up like, oh shit, I missed a part. I felt like I missed a part. Like I walked out to get some popcorn and came back and completely missed a whole section of the movie. Like it just felt unfinished to me. But I still love Issa. She's great. Lovebirds was really funny from the time it started.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
I wasn't expecting to enjoy it that much, but
me too. The dialogue between the two was really good. Yeah. It was believable for sure.
So when you're watching TV, are you watching stuff like Insecure, or do you watch like an array of different types of stuff?
Definitely shows like Insecure. I love Euphoria. Don't ask me why.
That was good.
But I love like documentaries, specifically like crime, murder. I'm crazy.
Have you watched the Epstein documentary yet?
Yeah.
Yo.
Girl, crazy.
I just watched the first episode. Oh, wow.
Episode 2, and I'm like, yo.
Yeah, he was a nut. He was a nut.
Like on another, like this is beyond comprehension because you gotta think this is wealth, this is power, this is abuse of power. These kids.
No,
kids.
You guys need
Crazy.
to watch Children of the Snow.
Okay, what's that?
Because these men in power that have money, they have been running these sex rings like children for
forever. I mean, it's $1 billion industry, and who else has the money to pull that shit off but billionaires?
Yeah. So I think that one popped off like in the 80s or whatever, but you know, kids were turning up dead, and it led back to a private island where they would take disadvantaged children, disadvantaged boys for the summer, and they acted like it was a summer camp. If you think back to those times, how willingly people sent their kids away to summer camp and didn't see their kids for 3 months. They sent these kids away, and they sent them to an island where a bunch of grown men would just rape them the whole time.
Oh, Jesus.
Insane. So me and my boyfriend watch stuff like that. We know like all the serial killers and stuff. I just love watching stuff like that. I think it's just interesting. I like stuff like that. True crime. If it's like drugs or I don't know, like some type of scandal or
any guilty pleasure trash show that you like to watch?
I love RuPaul's Drag Race, but that's not a trash show for me. That's art, what they do. I love Vanderpump Rules. Yes, they're hilarious. I love Housewives of Beverly Hills. Mainly because like I love their houses and stuff.
I'm about to say they're like rich.
They're rich.
Yeah. And
I can deal with Housewives of Atlanta. They get a little bit too messy. I don't like too much of the mess, but I'll watch them. Like I watched this season, but I'm not like a faithful watch every season.
I don't know when the last season of that like I've really watched. I normally watch people recaps of it just to kind of stay abreast of what's going on, but I really don't know what's going on.
Yeah, this season was the first one I watched like the whole season.
Okay.
Very long time.
Okay.
But
like my trash show is 90 Day Fiance. I can't stop. I love it. I'm not even going.
Love After Lockup for a second.
Ooh, that's a real good trash show.
Yeah,
that's a good one. But something about 90 Day Fiance, I don't know what it is.
You're not the first person I heard to say that.
I'm all in. Like,
wait, is that the show with the short man with no neck?
yes, yes.
Oh wow,
But it's
he's
like
getting a lot of
several,
burn though.
it's like several different spin-offs of it. Like it's 90 Day the other way, like where the American goes to live overseas to go be with the person. There's the one before the 90 days. So what you do, because you have to get like this visa before they come over to the States. It's like happily ever after, because there are people who stay together. I can't stop. I love it. It's just so.
How long has the show been out?
It's been out for a while. As long as Love at First, Married at First Sight has been out at least.
Okay. Yeah, I never really got into those shows. I might check them out.
Yeah. 90 Day Fiance, because it's so funny. Like, because you're like, yo, you've really been talking to this person for 5 years that lives in Russia. You never seen her ever. And these men are spending bread. Like, you think people spending bread on OnlyFans? These men are spending bread. They're sending money over like it's nothing. Like it's crazy. It's crazy town. But it's good. I mean, some people actually really do stay together. Like they stay together, they really are in love with each other. But you learn about other cultures, like how the Americans go over there. Like one guy was completely lying to this girl about how much money he had. He goes over there and the family's like, yo, you owe us a dowry for marrying our daughter. And he was like broke as shit. And he had to like, they wanted him to like buy a goat. Like that was like tradition. Like, and the goat was expensive. It wasn't, like, and he was like fucked up. Like he had to call one of his friends to like send him bread. Cause he was lying. Cause he didn't have any bread. Like it's the craziest stuff, but it's good. Jay doesn't watch
Blackish.
Oh, Black as fuck. Oh, Blackish or Black as fuck?
Blackish.
Okay, I haven't watched Blackish in a while. I'm gonna be honest with you about it. I don't know why. It's not that like I got bored with it. It's just that I just haven't watched it for some reason. But I do love Blackish.
What about Black as fuck? You like it?
Black as fuck.
I loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Hilarious from the time that it started.
I loved it.
just how they talk to each other. It's
I know it's so dry.
It's so funny.
That humor. Everybody.
He's like, why you? But like you said, he's just like, why are you being a dickhead? Like it's just so mundane. Like it's every day. Like it's so hilarious.
Was so offended that I thought that was hilarious when he called his daughter a dickhead. I thought it was the funniest shit ever. And they were so like, funny. That's so offensive. Why would you? I'm like, literally, I was on the floor. Like I like couldn't get myself together.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was hilarious.
Why people like were so bothered by that, but
I hope that doesn't stop him from bringing another season of it.
Oh no, well, he has a contract with like $100 million contract with Netflix. Like he's
he can't stop.
I might have to rewatch that again. Actually, that shit was funny.
It was
because of slavery.
Yeah, but like him trying to
like 2 episodes where it was like kind of slow, but all other
the episode when he was trying to explain the art piece and like he just couldn't articulate it. And then the actual artist actually told him what the piece was about. He's like, that's what I've been saying. Like, yo, that's just, that's how people be.
Between him and his assistant is funny as shit. It's great. It's perfect.
I don't know. I loved it.
I'm like, black people, if you can't appreciate this shit, I don't know what.
No. All of it. His freaking sweatsuits, how tacky he is, like all of it.
The changing.
No, but like he wore socks and sneakers to the beach. Like he was fucking but that's what dudes do though. Like you go to the beach,
black shit.
Yo, if you go to Miami, you see them in like Timbs. Like what?
Yes, like no, that show is too good. They have to bring another season back because
they will.
I loved every second of it. And I was like, yo, so when's another episode not going to be called Because of Slavery? And then when I noticed that every episode was, I was like, this is genius. This is genius. I love it. I love it. All right, so Red Echo is out. We have a preview for a new book. The blog is still up and popping. Anything else you got coming up?
Well, I said this earlier. I'm going to start putting some material together because I get a lot of questions from people asking about, how to go about writing a book and self-publishing. And So I am going to put some products together and make them available on MoniqueElise.com. So you'll be able to get all those answers. I'll just be sharing the tricks and the trades of the business and
Cool.
giving you what you need to get your book published and out to the world.
Jay will probably be your first customer, and he'll send it to me.
Right.
I think I might do a course as well. So.
Oh, nice. That's dope.
Do like some type of writer's workshop or something.
Dope.
So yeah, that's for the future. And I think I want to release another book this year. I might. I don't know. I'm overly ambitious. I don't know. Child, y'all getting the emergency alert?
For what?
I just got the emergency alert for the curfew.
Oh, is it 6 o'clock again?
8:30.
Oh, okay. Can you hear us, Jay?
Oh.
We can't hear you either.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, well, I'll end the show then, okay? I got it. I'm good. I got it. All right, Monique, thank you for coming on to the show. We really appreciate you coming through. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media and where they can get the book.
You can grab my book on Amazon.com. It is Red Echo by Monique Elise. You can also find my book on my website, www.moniqueelise.com. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @MoniqueElise _. Where else can you find me?
On Calvin Klein's website.
Facebook, because
no, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
You can find me on Twitter. I am Monique Elise. And yeah, stay tuned. Sign up to my newsletter, because that's where I give my readers, exclusive sneak peeks. You guys can be the first ones to read my books. I do giveaways. And if you buy my book now, I'm actually hosting a contest. I haven't advertised it just because of what's going on. But if you buy my book, you read it, you share a review on Amazon, I'm giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. So read it, share it, review it, show it love, and somebody's going to win some Amazon.
I love it. All right, well, Jay got back on, so he's here.
I'm back. Yeah.
All right,
I got like some alert, and it just messed up my whole phone, but whatever.
The emergency
alert. The curfew alert. All right, so since we're on curfew, you guys, we're going to head out.
Word.
All right, everybody, make sure you are following Lauren Rei Live on all social media platforms. Also, make sure you're hitting up Water Ice Radio and our YouTube page, where you'll be able to find this episode as well. We're on all major streaming platforms, so that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. What's the other place called?
SoundCloud.
Yep, that's it. Thank you. Had a grandma moment. Anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find us there. Shout out to the Uncensored Podcast. They have their shows up as well. They are hilarious, guys, so make sure you are checking them out. Jay, you got anything?
Nah, man, just stay safe, stay sharp, stay healthy, stay inside if you need to, stay woke. I hope y'all voted.
Yes, did y'all vote?
Yes.
Definitely did. And just keep looking out for Water Ice, because we got some stuff coming up that's going to definitely help out within the community and the small business in the city. So we're working on some things for that. And yeah, we're going to try to push content as much as we can. I know it's crazy out there, but we're going to try to get y'all a little break from all that and enjoy yourselves for a couple of minutes and then get back to the realities, right?
Yep. So cool, everybody. We will be back next week with another returning guest to the show. It's going to be a fun time. So make sure you guys are tuned in. But until then, not all superheroes wear capes. Sometimes
they wear headphones.
Bye.